So this summer, I was working in the Laboratory for Language and Cognitive Development, and my research project was looking at parents' hearing status, since we have a digital database of videos of oral deaf parents. So parents that are deaf but use vocalization and speech instead of a sign language to communicate, and they also have deaf children.
So I research mostly Nicaraguan Sign Language, which is an emerging sign language out of Nicaragua, and it's spontaneously emerging. We get to study all of the users back to the first learners of the language and see how the language has changed over time and how the different language experiences affect cognition.
The research that we're doing in our lab is inspecting behavior of honeybee queens in correlation with how early in their larval stage they receive the royal jelly that causes them to turn into a honeybee queen. This project is actually funded by the USDA because we've been having problems with honeybee queen quality. There's frequent reports of reduced size, reduced egg laying, and this has been leading to a rapid decline in honey production.
We're working on solar cells for solar energy, and we're specifically making the semiconductor center, and we're making them in our glove box, and then we'll do optics testing on them.
Some of the tests that we do is we see how much light that the solar cells absorb, and then we see how much light that they will emit.
This research can contribute to our ability to make lead perovskite solar cells, which is a different type of solar cell than like the commercial silicon ones that we use. And this eventually can lead to solar panels and other devices becoming much more efficient.
Not as expensive to make these kinds of solar cells. Energy will become more affordable for everyone, and that's just a good thing overall.
Sign languages are really understudied linguistically, and for a lot of time there were a lot of misconceptions about sign languages not being real languages, which is really harmful because we know that language is really important in a child's development. So it's really important that there is enough research on sign languages and the effects that it has on children, because a lot of children who are born deaf are born to hearing parents. So without that shared modality there, it's important that there's a lot of research done on sign languages to communicate that to parents.
Well, this research is really important because it's studying a pollinator, which is very important for not only the wildflowers in your garden, but for agriculture and for the honey industry. And while honeybees are actually not native, they have taken a really large role as a pollinator in the ecosystems, and it's really important to protect them.
Even if we think something is already as best as it can possibly be, like for example, we already have silicon cells out there, but we can actually, if we're able to have a space where we continue to do research on these kinds of devices, we can make them better, more efficient, and add on to them.
By making new discoveries, that is how we advance as a species. Our world would not be the same if we did not pursue the discovery of science.
I think being able to conduct science research, particularly for psychology, but also for many other fields, is really centered around the human experience and being able to foster better understanding and also just improve people's lives. And being able to contribute to that through science research, even as students, I think is really great because it allows us to kind of be more informed and also be better citizens of the world.